Logan, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song The Sound of Us by A Lot Like Birds. I can't say I've ever heard anything from this band, so I'm going in totally blind. Honestly, no idea what to expect. But this does come as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. So, well, let's listen. A Lot Like Birds, The Sound of Us. Didn't really see many other options on YouTube other than an official music video, so that's the one we're going with. Hopefully it doesn't get blocked. Here we go.
Dead stars in jewelry boxes, spill as we rush past them, lane to waste. We can't have everything we want. Some things will have to stay. There is no beauty in the fire, but there is beauty in the way your eyes locked willingly with death, and death turned trembling away. Like ice on passing comets, we move calmly, soundless through it all. But in the wordless space between us, there is something like a soul. Each note exists within the silence. Our hearts were moving it along. You sing the melody so perfect, I can only get it wrong. So I beg, just make the silence stop. It's exposed to love. I think I've had enough. Time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of love. It's killing me. Across the giving up. An hourglass is spinning, tumbling right past me through the room. Gravity long since gone, now an endless tune. The song that lived between us, here but out of tune. The grains of sand escape the glass, each one paler than the moon. Entire planets empty, with only dust and rocks to find. You escaped from here, leaving this behind. You found an enemy and soul. I made a lover out of mine, and now I'm running out of air, and I'm begging, just make the silence stop. It's exposed to love. I think I've had enough. Time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of love. It's killing me. Across the giving up. What am I to say? We've been growing apart. My infatuation with you began to slip into the void. I watched it drift into the cosmos as anguish played my mind. As we began to mirror all the space between the stars, I couldn't take the static. I needed something more. It wasn't easy finding something to live for. Hearing your voice inside of every sound. I saw a part of you in everything. Took a moment to breathe, then let it run out. Just make the silence stop. It's exposed to love. I think I've had enough. Time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of love. It's killing me. Across the giving up.
Interesting. The music video that went along with it was very, very interesting. So I liked it though. I liked it. The song was good. I liked the energy behind it. Great drum work. Guitar was good. The vocal style, I think, had a lot of energy, passion behind it. So just, I thought it was a good one. I had a good time listening to it. So let's break the song down like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics. So, in an interview with Noisy, A Lot Like Birds vocalist Corey Lockwood talked a bit about the song. This song was a way of telling a story about a couple in love that steals stars and light from all over the galaxy. Eventually, their love fades, and one of them abandons the other, and he's passing alone and lost and unable to breathe. He thinks about how much of the time they spent together was in silence. He mistook that silence for peace and unspoken love when it was actually just a disconnect, and as he realizes it, he suddenly can't stand the silence around him. The song is his series of dying thoughts. Damn! I think the music video kind of conveys that, because like at the end he dies when the song ends, I guess, or I guess that's what I took from it. And but until then, he's like, I guess maybe living this life of excess. Maybe well, I guess he doesn't really want to. It's like weird, they're like shoving stuff in his mouth and forcing him to eat and stuff. It's kind of a weird music video, but I liked it. So anyway, let's look at the lyrics. Dead stars and jewelry boxes spill as we push past them, laying to waste. We can't have everything we want. Some things will have to stay. There is no beauty in the fire, but there is beauty in the way our eyes locked willingly with death, and death turned trembling away. Like ice on passing comets, we move coldly, soundless through it. All but in the wordless space between us, there is something like a song. Each note exists within the silence. Our hearts were moving it along. You sing the melody so perfect, I can only get it wrong. So I beg, just make the sound stop. It's exposed too much. I think I've had enough time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of us, and it's killing me. I'm close to giving up. Damn, yeah, when I think about that line, that's great. And exactly what what the artist said there, I can definitely see that coming through. So it's just like we sat in silence, and I thought that was what we needed, just to be quiet and shut up and enjoy each other's company. But in reality, the silence was just too much. The silence exposed that we had nothing to talk about, that we had nothing in common. I think I've had enough time to let it go. And this part right here, it's always quiet, and that was the sound of us. Silence was the sound of us because we had nothing to talk about. That's hard. That's good stuff, and it's killing me. I'm close to giving up. An hourglass is spinning, tumbling right past me through the room. Gravity long since gone, now an airless tomb. The song that lived between us, here but out of tune. The grains of sand escaped the glass, each one paler than the moon. Entire planets empty with only dust and rocks to find. You escaped from here, leaving this behind. You found an enemy in sorrow. I made a lover out of mine. Ooh, that's good too. That's a great line. You found an enemy in sorrow. I made a lover out of mine. So, like, whereas one person, when they're sad, it's like they're the other enemy, so they have to find ways to not be sad, and that, I think, sort of leads to sort of inauthentic feelings and behaviors, whereas this person is like, yeah, I kind of embraced the sorrow. I learned from it, and now I'm running out of air and I'm begging. Just make the silence stop. It's exposed too much. I think I've had enough time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of us, and it's killing me. I'm close to giving up. What am I to say? We've been growing apart. My infatuation with you began to slip into the void. I watched it drift into the cosmos as anguish plagued my mind. As we began to mirror all the space between the stars, I couldn't take the static. I needed something more. It wasn't easy finding something to live for, hearing your voice inside of every sound. I saw a part of you in everything, took a moment to breathe, then let it run out. So yeah, this person was very, infatuated with this other person, but once the silence became too much, it's like, okay, I have to let this go. Right? I saw a part of you in everything, took a moment to breathe, then I let it run out. So it's like everything I saw reminded me of you, but then I had to take a step back and say, okay, I have to move on. Just make the silence stop. It's exposed too much. I think I've had enough time to let it go. It's always quiet, and that was the sound of us, and it's killing me. I'm close to giving up. This is a hell of a song. From a lyrical standpoint, I will say, it's written very well. There's a lot of really cool lines in there where you're just like, man, that's a great line. It's well written. And, it tells a relatable story, something that a lot of people have been through, just thinking you found the one, and it ends up that you don't have as much in common as you thought, or you don't share the same ideals or goals or what have you, right? And so it's like you eventually have to move on. But I think the way that it tells this story is definitely a little different and very interesting. So lyrically, I give it 2 thumbs up. As far as the instrumentation goes, there is one complaint I have about this song. I honestly wish it were a little heavier. There were moments where we're over here headbanging and the band's headbanging, but the music really wasn't that heavy. I wish they would have really taken it a step further and really made it heavy. I think this song would have benefited from some heavier drums, heavier guitar work, just a little bit more heaviness overall. Maybe even some screaming vocals. I think that would have been really good. But I think what we got was still very enjoyable. The guitar work was pretty good. The drum work was excellent. I think there were some moments in there where the drums really shone through for me. The vocals were pretty good too. Again, if I have one complaint, it's just I wish it was a little heavier. Just I guess as a personal preference. So regardless, though, I thought it was a good song. I give it like a 1.5 for instrumentation and vocals. And then as far as replay value goes, I think this one has room on my playlist. I think it would definitely get repeated a lot more if it was heavier, but I think, again, what I got is still something very enjoyable, and so, I'll put it on my playlist. I'll probably listen to it every now and then, but I still think it's a good song, so 1 thumb up for replay value. Just overall, had a good time with this one. This video was kind of weird, but I liked it. So thank you so much for the request. As always, if you would like to request something, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place you can find this song and plenty more of the songs I've listened to on this channel are in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below, and it has every single song I've heard so far on my channel. And of course, if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube. Like and subscribe and comment. Alright, I haven't figured out what I'm going to listen to next, but once I do, you'll be the first to know, so I hope to see you then. Bye for now.